Hello, good morning. It is the weekend of September the 16th, and I'm going to do a review of the week in trading the 220 EMA Upside Breakout system, which I talked about in the webinar a couple of weekends ago. I'll give you the link to that webinar if you haven't seen it already. So a couple of quick reminders. There's a disclaimer, standard disclaimer. I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not recommending any stocks. Backtesting has limitations. And of course, all trading involves risk, and you need to do your own due diligence. If you missed the webinar that I'm talking about, you can access it via this link, edgerator.com/details.aspx, CTX equals, and then 220 EMA webinar. There is a much easier way to get to that, and I'm going to show you, if you actually have the program, I'll show you how to get to that in an easier way. So let's go ahead and get into the program, and I'm going to review what happened last week. But before I do that, I'll show you the easiest way to get to the webinar if you missed it. First of all, find this template. It will be located in your stocks and commodities category on the right hand side, and you can click it, 220 EMA Upside Breakout System. Put a star by it if you're going to use this on a daily basis, because then it will appear in your favorites category. So here I have my list of favorites that I look at fairly regularly, and 220 EMA Upside Breakout I've dragged that to the top of my list, and that's what we're going to be dealing with today. Once you have this template selected, click on Video Help. Video Help will actually take you directly to the webinar recording, and from here you'll be able to see the webinar all about this trading system and this template. If you also are on here and you want to get some text information, just click on Template Info. This will take you to, Template Info will take you to the blog post that I did about this trading system, and tells you all the details about where the information came from originally and what the rules are for entering and exiting trades. Okay, having said that, last weekend I did a review of the prior week. And if you hadn't seen that video, that is available on the YouTube channel, but you may want to actually run this template as if it was last weekend. So potentially you didn't run this template last weekend, so you don't have the information. But one of the features in the program is you can actually pretend that you are at a certain date. So let's pretend we're at last Saturday, and we'll run the template as of last Saturday, and we'll see all of the stocks that were in this list last Saturday. And if we sort by current percent gain and filter out the blanks, and so this is the state of where we were last Saturday. So we had JNUG, NAV, RL, Nugget. Let's look at some charts, bring up these on the right hand side here, and let's zoom in. So if we turn on the event here, show annotations, it's going to point to the day that this scan was actually run for. Okay, so that is JNUG where it was when we talked about it last Saturday. So that was the close on Friday. We're pointing to it right there, and this is what happened during the week. So as you can see, during the week in JNUG, it hit the exit, and so it exited. Last Friday it was at a 26% gain, but it exited down here when it hit the 20 EMA. And that was exiting only for about a 12% gain. So let's scroll down through the list, look at some of the others. NAV is still in a trade, pretty much unchanged from last week. Ralph Lauren also in a trade and unchanged, hasn't exited. It's been in a trade all the way from down here. You can see this blue line on the bottom indicates when the trade was initiated. That's currently at a 22% gain. Nugget, the gold miners 3x ETF, that did exit so it was 21% gain at the end of last week, but it exited down here, not for 21%. Okay, so quite a distance between here and here. The exit line was quite a ways below where it closed, so it didn't quite exit for 21%. Mankind has actually done really well since last week. There it was last week at a 21% gain. It's now up here at about a 40% gain. So still in a trade, but again, the stop line is the red line down here. So potentially it could come lower than this, lower than the last week's close, but it also could gap down through here. You just don't know with these stocks, but this is a system that has defined entry and exit rules, and all I'm doing is just going through the rules to show you what happened in this system. I'm not recommending this. This system is really a bare bones trend trading system. It's trying to give you the best performing stocks and keep you in those stocks as long as they are moving, and take you out of positions if they are going against you. So it takes you out of positions very quickly, but keeps you into positions that are continuing to work. Hopefully you're going to get some nice long trends. But it is a very bare bones system, and you may want to add your own criteria into the system, either on the entries to further refine your entries, or maybe you have different exit requirements. But this will help you, and it will allow you to see what happens in a basic trend trading system as we go through this on a weekly basis. So Mankind, that did well. Now we're looking at WB, Weibo, and again a little more to the upside. It's still in this trend. ABBV, scroll over to the right a little bit because the bar on Friday wasn't in view there. So Friday's bar, so ABBV still had a gain, but Friday was looking like quite a solid down day on Friday, but still hasn't reached the exit criteria. So I'll go quickly through some of the others here. We can see this one exited down here when it hit the red line, the EMA 20. This is Grubhub. And Shopify, this was last Friday, at 14.75 last Friday, has gone on to make quite a nice gain this week. So this was last Friday, and this is how you can go through and see how the stocks did that were still in a trade as of last Friday. Now what you can do also is see what the situation is today. All I would do here is just click on clear the date filter or the date set for running a template. So now we're going to run as to current date. And as I run this, I'm going to get the report for this week. And we'll just put that over onto the left-hand side over here. Just open up this window a little bit. And we'll do the same thing over here. We'll sort by gain, we'll filter out the blanks. And here, now we're going to be looking at, obviously, this week. And this is the total now percentage gain of the stocks that are still in a trade. So Mankind, as I said, that's now gone on to make a total of 40% from the entry down here. So we can scroll down through here. We can always see, and it's always a good idea, just to verify you're running for the right date, look at the date column. So 9:15, that was Friday, so we know we're running on the right date. Navistar is currently at 24% gain. Ralph Lauren is currently at 22. Weibo is currently at 21, and so on. Shopify is currently at 20, and so on and so forth. So if you, a little trick here, which is quite handy, if you still have the other report up, which I do, I did not close it, I just hit it. What I can do here is put them side by side, which is quite an interesting thing to do. So if I put this report by the side of this report, and you'll notice that the 9:15 is over here and the 9:08 is over here. So what will happen is as soon as I go through this list and I'm clicking on the left-hand side, the right-hand side is going to update, and to the top of the list it's going to scroll the stock that I selected on the left-hand side. So what this means is you can see immediately the gain for this week and the gain for last week. So Mankind this week 40%, last week was 21%. Navistar this week is 24%, last week was 23%. Ralph Lauren this week is 22%, also last week was 22%. And then as we scroll down through the list, we can find, so Shopify 21%, last week was 14%. So this is a way of just seeing the comparisons between this week and last week. Now, if a stock is exited from a trade, so because I can do this in the opposite way, I can actually click on the right-hand side, and then the left-hand side is going to update. So Navistar is still in trade. Ralph Lauren still in trade. Nuggets, remember, exited the trade. So what happens here is Nugget was at 21.84% last week, but it exited the trade, and we can see that it's not actually selected in this list because we've filtered out all of the stocks that are not in a trade. So if I select them all again, and then come back to select Nugget, you'll see that it's not currently in a trade. It did exit. So I guess this would be a quick way to see what stocks have exited from a trade. If they don't have a current percent gain on the left-hand side, that means they exited during the week. So a couple of little techniques that you can do there. So let me go back to, I'll close this last week's side down, and I will open up the gains here just to give another view of where we currently stand for the stocks in my list. I'm using the list of stocks that have weekly options. And you can see that the highest gain of a stock that's currently in a trade is Mankind at 40%. But it goes down the list quite a ways. Okay, we're still at 10% gain down here after going down through about 20 stocks. So 20 that are a 10% gain. There's quite a few here that are between a 10 and a 5% gain, and so on. And if we go right to the bottom of this list, stocks that are currently in a trade, then we have a few that are in the negative region. But the negatives are never as high as the positives because this system tries to get you out of trades quickly. Okay, so having said that, what you can also do, and this is a good thing to do with this particular strategy, is go to your entries and exits tab, and this will actually give me a trade report of all of the stocks that did exit throughout the whole time period that I have data for. I actually have 20 years worth of data downloaded for this list, but that's really too much to look at just what happened last week. So what I'll do is I'll set a date filter into here. I'll go 1/1/2017 to 12/31/2017. And then I'll say use this date filter, and over on the right hand side I'll click that to select it. Then I'll do my Control F to find the script starting with sim, and this is my sim 220 EMA Upside Breakout script. This script generates entries and exits for the strategy over this whole time period using this list of stocks. So I'll just run that. You can see the progress bar on the bottom left will increment. As soon as it's finished, we then have a screen full of the entry signals as they occurred all the way back to January 2017. That's when we set a date filter. And the exits also in the exits tab. Remember, this script is a special script. It generates entries and exits, and entry levels and exit levels too. And it makes it very easy then to do a trade simulation. We come over to the Trade Sim tab, click on Use Scripted Entry and Exit Rules, click Run, and then this is the entire list, 1,907 trades that were entered so far this year. And what I'll do is I'll sort by exit date twice, so it's descending. And so now we can see anything that's 9/15 down through 9/11 are the trades that exited this week. And this looks a little bit different to last week. Last week we didn't have that many that were in the positive territory, but the ones that were very positive. And so overall, it actually made a gain for the stocks that exited last week. Now remember, we also have stocks that are still currently open in a trade that are doing very well. So this is just the trades that exited last week. And so here you can see the percentage is a little bit more in favor of the greens, or the positive gains. And some of the larger ones we have Grub, and you can see if we double click on that one, we'll see where the entry was, and we can see where the exit was, and we see that was a 14% gain. We can take a look. There's a 12% gain here, JNUG. Remember I said that last week that was at a 24%. When it closed up here at the end of last week, 24%. It lost quite a bit this week and only closed at a 12.65% gain. And obviously we have some negative ones as well. But remember, these don't go down quite as far in terms of percentages as the gains, because these are trying to get you out of trades very quickly. So we're doing better in terms of our percentage of winners versus losers, but our winners are not as high as they were last week. But we still have the set of trades that are still currently open. So this is just a technique that you can use to look at this strategy and find stocks that are trending, and it will also give you entry ideas. So if you're looking to actually paper trade this or trade this with real money, then what you can do is you can select the template and obviously run the template. Remember, we already ran it, but I will run it one more time. It's very quick to run. So if you're looking to find stocks to trade in this system, what you would do is you would come into the template and run it. You get the report, and then you want to filter by buy alert in effect. So you want a buy alert to be in effect. So we'll say filter that by yes, and we want we can say bars since buy to be 0. All right, so these are all the stocks that currently have a buy alert. So these should be potentially traded. You can enter long entry stops into your trading platform for these stocks because they have fulfilled the rules. Okay, that's 2 bars completely above the 20 EMA. And now we have a long entry stop at 51.83, which is 10 cents above the high of the 2 buy alert buys. So if on Monday this trades above or at 51.83, there will be an entry triggered for this this stock or ETF. And we can scroll down through our list to see the others. So we can quickly do that. And I'll just use my arrow key to come down through this list. And you can take a look at these and you can see if they fit in your criteria for stocks that you like to trade. These are potentially stocks that are going to fire buy alerts. Now, if you're looking at this at the end of the day and you wanted to know what stocks actually hit a buy alert during the day on Friday, then clear your filters and then say sort by entry event today. And if there were any that entered today, also remember we had a filter set in bar since buy, so we're going to clear that one. And then we're going to sort by entry event today. These are the ones that did trigger and went over their long entry stop on Friday. So this is currently now in a trade. And if it's in a trade, it will have a current percent gain. So currently negative 0.218%, but remember it just entered on Friday. And all of these entered on Friday. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these that actually triggered an entry on Friday. So these will either get stopped out very quickly or they will go on to make the large gains. And that's just how you can monitor and follow the system. And paper trade, or if you're doing it with real money, then that's also an option. But remember, that's your own decision. All trading involves risk, and you have to do your own due diligence. This is a program, though, that will help you follow these systems and also allow you to run backtesting so that you can see what the likely or what the prior statistics have been in terms of wins and losses. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will do another update next weekend. Have a great weekend.